Welcome to our Transits Fridays. So, how was the eclipse for you? New moon eclipse on the 2nd of October, so it's been 2 days. I think that energy of the eclipse is still available for all of us. What happened there? I mean, I had my talk about the astrology of highly sensitive people, which went really well. A lot of people turned up, which is very interesting because it was a new moon. Usually full moon events tends to attract a lot more people, but for some reason I had a lot of people coming, and that was really special. Really special. I met Victor Oliver as well, which someone that I've admired the work from afar. I guess we're being like social media friends for a while, so it was wonderful to make contacts and just to be talking about astrology and surrounded by amazing people interested in this amazing subject. And amazingly as well, there might be a new work project that was born with this talk as well. So I'm not going to be telling much about it because I really don't want to jinx it. I want to see how that evolves and unfolds. We're still in the dark, sort of plunging the seeds into the ground kind of stage, but I've been approached, and that could be something new being born with this new moon eclipse, which honestly I think is quite wonderful because last year I was signing a contract to do all of the master classes and my academies as well, and I did it on the moment of the new moon eclipse because I was like, okay, there's an eclipse. I can either wait for a month or something to sign this, or I'm just going to ride this wave because that's what's happening and I'm going to trust it. And that's what I did. And it's been a wild ride, but in a wonderful way, in a wonderful way. There's so many personal um insecurities and ghosts that I had to slay throughout the process. And obviously there's no growth without personal growth, honestly. I don't think there's any outer success without doing some inner work at the same time, because we'd sabotage. That's what we do. We sabotage. We get a bit scared and we don't trust, and a lot of insecurities get triggered. So it's been amazing. It wasn't easy, and I guess that's the eclipse energy, but it has been definitely life-changing. So how was the eclipse for you? All of that telling a little bit of the eclipse. So I think it's just really wonderful. October new moon eclipse in Libra last year, I was signing a contract. And then this year I was giving a talk, which turned out to be a lot more crowded than I imagined, and also bring me another opportunity as well. So that is amazing. Now, let's talk about the astrology of this week as well. And also, obviously, let me know in the comments, how was this new moon eclipse for you? What did you do? Um, did you take some time to rest? Was it really intense? Did you feel the more karmic ending of a relationship as well, which is a classic with a new moon in Libra, with a South Node in Libra? Um, how was that for you? Let me know. Write down in the comments, because I do read all of your comments and I love community making. So for me, each one of you really, really matter. Now, let me share my screen so we can have a look at the astrological transits for this week, what's happening, and where are we going in terms of the energy that's available for us. Now, for this week, I think one of the major things is that Jupiter is going to be turning retrograde. So Jupiter will be joining every single other big heavyweight planet as well in the retrogradation. So we've got Pluto still retrograde. We've got Saturn, Neptune, Chiron, and Uranus retrograde. And so Jupiter will be joining until I'm pretty sure Pluto will be the first one to move direct soon. But they will all be retrograde together, which honestly is a wonderful phase or a wonderful time to review, to rethink, to go inwards in general. with all of the changes, all of the big changes that we are going through in our lives. So we have an opportunity to reassess a lot of these big changes. But we'll get to Jupiter on a day that's turning retrograde. All in all, I do feel that this is a week where we can be getting in touch with healing energy. There can be an emphasis on the healing process, which I think is an aftermath of this new moon eclipse as well in Libra. So whatever it is that we're dealing with during the eclipse in terms of letting go, in terms of getting in touch with that powerful Grant trine in water as well, which obviously is still an orb. So we've got Venus at 14 Scorpio, Saturn at 14 Pisces, and Mars at 16 Cancer. So we're still riding the wave of this healing Grand trine in water here, where we are still working with mastering feminine and masculine energy, mastering the both sides of our brains and etc. So that's still going, that's still happening. And like I said, I really do have the feeling that this week is a lot about the aftermath and integrating a lot of the energies that were available for us during this new moon eclipse. So a time for us to readjust or set with these energies as well. I think the eclipse usually is like when the energy sort of peaks, even though it's a new moon, is like peaking for a new beginning and something to be left behind. And then this week we're sort of like the tectonic plates of, the earth is sort of like readjusting still and sitting more harmoniously together, kind of feeling. That's how I feel this week is going to be about. So today, Friday the 4th, that's is still very much emphasizing the Grand trine in water that we had during the eclipse. Tomorrow, Saturday, the moon will be joining as well. You can see that that's still very much within orb, and that moon is also going to be reawakening some of that energy, some of that flavor there as well for us. So there's definitely that feeling of washing over us, letting go, feeling our emotions, feeling the need for emotional connections or healing our emotional connections as well for the next couple of days, for the weekend as well in particular. There's also another energy that's going to be there as well, which is Mercury coming to trine Jupiter in Gemini. So Mercury in Libra coming to trine that Mercury. So we've got Venus trine Mars this week, perfecting that is, and Mercury coming to trine that Jupiter. There we go. So Tuesday, the 8th of October, is when we have the two exact trines. So Venus in exact trine to Mars and Mercury in exact trine to Jupiter. I think that's a great day for removal of obstacles. Obviously, Mercury is also in opposition to Chiron. And for me, that gives us that flavor I was saying about healing and dealing with some potential wounds there that we were already aware during the new moon eclipse, about individuality, about courage, the whole like Aries Libra axis, and the Libra, with cooperation and being part of a team, but still not forgetting our individuality, and how can we do that? So those two trines, though, I'm very excited about them. I think that Tuesday could be a very exciting day in terms of moving ahead, setting sails a little bit. And then boom, Wednesday, 9th of October, we have Jupiter turning retrograde. So Jupiter will be turning retrograde. Obviously, there's still that trine between Mercury and Jupiter still within orb, the trine between Venus and Mars as well. So, we're still riding that energy there. But with Mercury turning, with Jupiter turning retrograde and joining all of the heavyweight planets, and that Jupiter obviously is forming a exact sextile to Chiron as well. I really do feel that there's something about our growth and all of the informations that we might be getting in touch with, because it's a Jupiter in Gemini, is amplifying and expanding questions and our intellectual abilities and our intellectual curiosity as well, our experimentation as well, that's having an impact in our worldview now with this transit of Jupiter in Gemini. So there's something about regaining our breath a little bit in terms of our expansion, in terms of our intellectual explorations as well, that we're going to have an opportunity to get in touch with, to see, reimagine, rethink, what it is that we're doing, how much growth has taken place there, and especially obviously placing that Jupiter in your chart. Where is Jupiter in your natal chart? Because that's the area where there is growth happening and opportunities to expand right now as well. So it's a time um to regain confidence, to reassess that confidence as well, and that energy for growth and expansion. Where do you want to direct it? Where do you want to keep doing that? For how long? Or, are you missing something? Have you not finished the course you said you're gonna do? Or, there's something there on the intellectual pursuits, and obviously the bigger picture of life or perspective that's gonna be going through a revisioning or a reassessment period as well, with that Jupiter turning retrograde. And again, because it's in a exact sextile to Chiron, I feel that there is a connection to a lot of the healing that we're facing and going through all of these years with Chiron in Aries. And also the sun is coming to trine uh Jupiter as well. So there is a kind of a couple of trines there from Mercury and the Sun that's also going to be part of this first stage of Jupiter going retrograde in Gemini. So something about that. But all in all, I think that's a wonderful week for us to dive into the aftermath of the eclipse, the things that are happening, the new beginnings that we're having, and heal ourselves further, feel our emotions, balance things out a little bit more, and assess the philosophical perspective of life as well, and the bigger picture of what we're doing as well. So that's it. This is already the 11th of October, which is next Friday, which I'll be back. I'll be back next Friday, and we'll talk about it next week. Now, in the meantime, let me know, what are your plans with these grand trine in water? Can you feel that energy with Jupiter going retrograde? What house is that in your chart? And whatever else you would like to share. It's great to hear from you always. And I will be back next week with our Transits Fridays again, and potentially more videos, because I still am planning to do some extra videos as well for you. So I'll see you. Have a wonderful weekend, a beautiful week, and I'll see you next Friday. Mwah. Lots of love to you. Ciao.